Hey guys, welcome to the 19th episode of the I Am a Show Off Pod. My name is Karina, Karina, and I'm not the show off, but my company is Show Off Furniture. I hope everyone had a fabulous turkey day yesterday. I hope everyone was able to eat a lot, laugh a lot, and spend time with loved ones safely. I know I did, and I'm super grateful for that. On today's episode, I finished the conversation with my friends Jessica and Henry. We continue to laugh and share stories, and I hope you guys continue enjoying. I'm talking about the Chrisleys part two. They have an endless budget.
But I laugh, like I make my husband watch that show because I love that family so much.
I love Nanny Faye.
Just can't stop laughing. I think I wake my kids up because I'm laughing.
I like
so
when
hard.
Nanny Faye curses at them. I think it's hysterical.
I want a Nanny Faye. Like I'm like, kids, this is what I like. I wanted a grandma like that. I mean, like I feel like my mom is a little like that because she will curse them out in Spanish. I'm like, Mom, teach my children Spanish.
She is.
But then
Perfect.
she's just a spitfire. So then she'll just call them everything in the book. And then, like, she kicked us out of her house. Remember that one time I told you guys?
Oh, yeah.
She kicked us out of her house.
A ratchet.
And
I'd be afraid of your mom.
and so my mom, like,
I'd
treats
also
them.
be afraid of your mom.
Yeah.
My mom?
Well, no, maybe
I
not.
know
She's.
stories.
You know, she's the infamous crasher.
My mom knows your mom pretty well.
She's
So.
the infamous crasher. Sorry, Mom.
Oh, yes.
She hates that story.
It's my favorite story.
She's like, what did she say right now? She's probably, when she hears this, what? She's talking about me? No, you heard wrong.
I think both of your moms are adorable.
Scary. All three of our moms are scary, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no.
My mom is scary as all hell.
As all hell. I don't think she's that scary. She seems sweet.
I like your mom. She is sweet.
She's sweet on the outside. She can be evil on the inside.
It's because you know a different side of her.
Mm-hmm.
She could call you up like screaming, like something terrible has happened in the house and she's screaming at you, right? And it's like she forgot her computer password.
That's how my kids are. They're like, Mommy, what? Can you get the cups down for me? I don't reach them. And in my mind, in that fraction of a second, my kid has had a seizure, she's on the floor, someone has died, like a million things, and I'm hyperventilating. And it's just, I don't reach the cup, please, and thank you. Nice.
So like she'll call my sister with a complete meltdown, right? Like, I don't know what you guys did to my computer. I can't log in and blah blah blah. And my sister was like, we just logged out. All you have to do is put your password in. She's like, I don't know the password. Yeah,
I'm like,
you know, it's like the end of the world. I'll call her. She's like, hi, hon.
Oh,
She's like that
she
crazy.
stores that energy
She's
for somebody
that
else.
crazy. Mm-hmm.
Do you think our moms had it easier or harder?
As kids?
Or the same? When they were raising us? I think mine's had it harder.
I think it was different. My mom had it harder. My mom had it harder because she worked, my dad worked. We lived in the city. Well, not in the city. We lived in the borough in New York. I have more, I feel for what my parents went through. I feel what my mom would go through. Like I would say, oh, my stomach hurts. And I'd literally pull her out of her job, but I didn't realize she had to hop on a train. And if something happened to the train, if it stopped in the middle, she was like rushed because she worked in Manhattan. So she would have to rush to get to me from the sitters or from school. And then my stomach would be fine. I just didn't want to be in school. And
Oh my
now,
God.
because I wanted to watch a telenovela.
Poor mom.
Don't change.
And
If
so
she'd have beat her back then, her husband would have had these problems now.
I didn't get beat.
I think that's
So maybe you shouldn't have beat her.
I didn't get beat that much, but I mean, like, it's just different. But I realize what she went through working. But then when we moved to Florida, we were down to one income. It was rougher. Then she was managing a budget. It was a completely different dynamic. She went from having a really good job, making really good money, to then coming down to a place she had no idea where she was at. She didn't drive. There wasn't a subway she
Yeah.
could take. There wasn't Uber, because let me just say, my mother was the one who taught me how to use Uber, because she was all over it. Uber and Lyft, because she priced both out. She would like price them out to see who was the cheapest, and that's how she would pick the one she would go with. Anyway, there was no Uber back then where we lived out in the sticks. I call it the sticks because that's where it was. Like, it took forever. Still takes forever to get there. So I think she had it harder. She didn't drive. She just, yeah.
I feel like that generation looks at our generation and is like, they're so soft. Because that's how I look at the kids coming up. Like, oh my God, they're having it so easy. They're so soft. And I think that maybe each generation looks at the next like that.
Yeah.
My mom did not work, or at least I don't remember her working
Okay.
until I was in middle school.
Oh, wow.
But my mom also she had my sister and I, and then we had a brother who had a lot of special needs. So I think a lot of her time was
Yeah.
at home. We also lived in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right.
So there's not a lot going on.
No big city to go to take the kids to
Oh.
de-stress.
Outside of cows and football. So
And how old were you when you guys moved to Florida?
I was in 8th grade.
Oh, you were a big kid already. Oh. Well, do you remember like a culture shock when you got here? I would think
Oh
so.
yeah, I
From
was
Wisconsin
like a
to
kid from
anywhere.
Wisconsin to South Florida, where it's a lot. So I think I don't know if she necessarily had it harder. I
Yeah.
think the hard is the same. It was just different.
Yeah. I think we have it easier.
I think we have technology to make our lives easier.
Definitely.
And I think we have access to more things than they did.
Yeah.
I think that they're probably more resourceful than we are.
Definitely.
Yes.
Because I Google everything.
I think we have it easy. Like I think we can solve our own problems faster, where they had to actually think about solving their problems.
Like I go to Google's for everything. Like I have cooked chicken a million times and I never remember what temperature, and I don't write it down. I don't put it anywhere what temperature. Every time, I will put it in bookmarks every time I have to Google it.
I ask my smart devices a lot of questions.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Like what?
Like, what temperature should the oven be on for this
Oh,
kind of meat?
yeah,
or
exactly.
what is the difference between, or what's the ratio, if I need cups to tablespoons or whatever.
Oh, okay. I'm not the only one.
No.
Exactly. And I'm guessing our moms just had everything memorized or wrote it down.
I get a lot of recipes from my mom, and it's like, I'm like, hey, can you send me this recipe? And I'm reading it, and I'm like, how does she know how much to put in?
You had
And
a
so I'll
pinch of
call
this,
her,
a
and
dash
I'm like,
of that.
I go,
But what does the recipe say?
I go,
Does it-
how much do you put in? She goes, I eyeball it. And I'm like, what do you mean you eyeball it? It's salt. How do you eyeball salt?
So is it just like a list of ingredients?
Yeah. And then I'll see, like, it'll be typed up, like, on a typewriter.
Oh,
I'll
wow.
take a picture of it, and then I'll see her handwritten notes. And I go, okay, so the typewriter font says something about butter, but you have something else for it. She goes, oh, you know. You just gotta test it. And I'm like,
Oh
what
my
do you
God,
mean?
it's Thanksgiving Day. I can't test
I go,
it.
what do you mean test it? Is it 4 tablespoons of butter, or is it whatever you have written here? And she goes, oh. She goes, well, are you using butter or margarine? It might be different.
Oh, is it? I never even thought. What?
I'm like, I feel like butter is butter. And she
Oh.
goes, wow, no.
I don't click.
No,
I'm like, let me start over. I'm gonna Pinterest
Forget
a new
it.
recipe.
I'm asking Martha Stewart.
I asked my mom because at the soccer game we went to, don't judge.
Oh, I got a soccer story for you.
You know, when I saw your pictures, I feel like you were the only people in the stands.
No, there were some other people.
Like, you had the whole stadium to yourself.
no, there was other
Because
people there.
Tropical
Because
storm
it was a
Edda.
tropical storm. And
Whatever,
COVID.
they still made them play, so we were just out there cheering them on.
People are shuddering up and she's out there.
Anywho, what they had, they only had, and they said we have limited food available. So they pre-warned
What are
everybody.
you supposed to do? Bring a snack?
You can't bring food, but just eat before you get there.
Okay.
So the kids, I ate. I wasn't hungry.
Did
And
you not care about the other 3 people in your family?
whatever, you fend for
Two kids
yourself.
and a husband.
Fend for yourself.
He's like 8, but
So what they had was, they said, "Oh, Mom, they have cheeseburgers." I was like, "I'm not eating that." But it ended up being an empanada. So it was like meat, empanada, like beef, and then chicken. And the kids, like London, the kids switched because I really thought one was going to like the beef and the other one was going to like the chicken. But it turned out the one who had like a complete meltdown because it was an empanada and not a cheeseburger ended up liking the chicken
It is very
empanada.
upsetting to get those two confused, by the way.
if I'm waiting for a cheeseburger, you
If
bring
I,
me
yeah, if you
empanada.
bring me an empanada,
I might throw it.
I'll probably be happy, but I might also.
Not be happy.
So
Not
they were
be
like, "Mom, can you make the empanadas?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll ask Grandma."
She said, yeah, like, oh, okay.
She barely cooks chicken.
So I go home, I text my mom. I'm like, "Mom, can you give me the recipe for the empanada?"
Did she send you like a bunch of laughing emojis?
No, she goes, "You need to call your godmother."
Nope. I need to go to Pinterest right now because it's going to be so much easier.
Because my godmother was the one who taught her how to cook.
Okay.
My mom didn't cook. My mom was never the woman in the kitchen. She was always
working.
out working. She'd rather do that. Like my aunt was the one learning how to do all these recipes. My mom didn't cook. When she got married, she realized, "Oh crap, I gotta cook for him.
Somebody's got to eat.
So someone's gotta feed him." So then she learned how to cook from my godmother. So my godmother taught her like these Italian recipes. And so my mom, I mean, we've got Italian in our blood, but still it was very,
So did you make
Different.
empanadas?
I didn't have time to. I was just going to go to the Colombian place at this point and get empanadas.
But did you call your grandmother to get the recipe?
No, my mom then sent it to me. She's like, "You need this, you need this, you need this.
Did
you
you
need
think
to
it was
ground the
easy?
meat." I mean, how hard can it be? You've got like a little round dough, right?
How hard
you
can
just,
it be? She didn't make them though.
You just, I mean, what do you got to do? You just chop up some chicken. I didn't want to use ground chicken. I wanted to use shredded chicken.
You lost me at chicken.
What? It's chicken empanada. You put chicken
My
inside.
throat is
Mine are
slowly
beef.
closing, and my ancestors are crying.
Mine are beef. What are
Mine
yours?
beef.
I don't eat beef.
That you shouldn't eat empanadas.
Make like ham and cheese.
I don't eat ham.
Oh my god.
Just have a panini, honey. It's fine. It's right up your alley. A chicken panini.
Anyway, my mom, no, she's not my go-to sometimes for recipes.
Oh, my mother doesn't cook.
My mom's a great cook.
A little pinch of this, a dash of that.
It's questionable.
Maybe she doesn't want to share the
She
recipe.
doesn't know how to share. You know, she just,
Maybe she wants to be the only one.
I think so.
Because then you won't call her for the stuff. Like, I know people like that. Like, they don't want to give you
There's
the recipe.
things where she sends me, and I'm like, it doesn't taste the same as when you.
Because she
make
left
it.
out a
And
part of
she's
the
like,
recipe.
"Oh, well,
She left out an ingredient.
My mother-in-law does
know.
that. She'll give you the recipe, and then she's like sneaking away something in her shirt or something. She had,
It's
what was
always-
that? And no, and it doesn't taste the same like yours. She's like, strange. I don't know why.
I get you must be doing something wrong.
Oh, it's you that's the problem.
It's me. I mean, I have questionable habits, but I feel like I can follow a recipe if you give it.
It's okay, Val. Let me call my therapist. We'll figure this out. Maybe moms need therapy. Maybe that'll make all our lives better. Squeeze in some therapy time. My kids keep saying I have PTSD.
From what?
Because since my kid was always having seizures, in the middle of the night, I hear her falling. And it wakes me out of my sleep. And it's not her fault. Everyone's sleeping. And it's been times where I wake up and I wake babe up. I run clear across the house. Like I'm screaming. Everybody wakes up and I wake her up too. And she's like, what? So now when I wake up and I hear, it's like a tumble that I hear. Now I'm like, she's asleep. Everyone's asleep. Everything is fine. I have to talk myself down. But like I'm hyperventilating.
Why don't you just put a camera in her room?
Because I still hear the noises. Even if she's like it's like I make up the noise in my head almost now. And it's a certain tumble that that I would hear when she had a seizure in the shower.
So Jack, because he's been in the hospital more often than
Not.
most 4-year-olds should be, I find myself, I hear the noises of
The hospital.
being in the hospital.
Like
So like the sounds of alarms going off or the heart monitor. So I'll be sleeping or I'll be outside and I'll think I hear like the beeping of a monitor and I run inside and everything is fine. There is like a hospital or a
Something.
medical PTSD.
But then does your heart race or something? Like, do you get nervous in that moment, or is it just no?
No.
No, like I will get a
I
cold
think because
sweat.
at this point I know how to react to some sort of emergency
Emergency, yeah.
situation in the house. So
I have to figure
at
that
least I
out.
hope I do.
Right.
I mean, given the story we were just talking about before we started this
I
podcast,
don't know.
I mean, I'm the naive one. I get called that a lot, but even I knew what to do in that situation. And then Jess piped up and said that she knew what to do in that situation.
Oh, the shower.
The shower. Throw someone in the shower.
But that's if you OD like on heroin, isn't it?
Doesn't matter. You just need something cold.
Any sedative.
Like,
Oh, for real? I see. I don't
Yes.
know. So now I know. If anyone ODs, call you girls because it's gonna be code Pulp Fiction.
If you have adrenaline, then you can call it code Pulp Fiction.
what's a code Pulp Fiction?
You haven't seen Pulp Fiction?
Oh my
It's
God.
been a while.
That they plunge
he stabs her heart.
Uma
with
Thurman in the chest with adrenaline because
Adrenaline.
she's ODing on was it coke or heroin or something?
I don't know what she was on.
Some-
in the movie. It's been a
I
while
think she
since
thought
I
it was
saw
coke, but it was heroin, and she snorted it. That's what it was.
But it's been a while.
Um,
I just knew it too from watching the Netflix show again, Queen of the South.
Oh, is that good?
oh, that was good.
Oh, that was really good. Another season's coming, so I have to wait.
Oh, I missed this last season.
I haven't watched it all, but I heard it's really good.
It is really good,
Well,
but
I saw
didn't
the
realize.
Spanish version first.
Right, but but even the English version has a lot of Spanish in it, but it has subtitles, and I did not realize.
Like a lot of Spanish, like Narcos.
I didn't watch that.
Did you ever watch Narcos?
Yes, but I don't like how they portray my people. Whatever.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, anywho, but I still found it entertaining. It was really, really good, but I learned a lot of, not a lot of Spanish, but because there's a lot of cursing. And I realized in my 39 years that my mom has been calling me an asshole my entire life. And I'm like, I called her up and I was like, Mom.
You didn't say, "Mom, you asshole."
No, I was like, because she yells at me when I curse in front of the kids. And I was like, Mom. And
what's the
explained,
word?
Cabrona.
Well, that could be. It's variety. It's
No, she was calling me an asshole. So I called her and I was like, Ma, do you know that you've been calling me an asshole this whole time? And she's like, what? And I'm like, cabrona. It means asshole.
What did you think that?
She's
word meant?
like, oh, it does?
I thought it was love.
And I'm like, oh. So I'm like, you can't yell at me for like cursing the kids out because
What did you think that word meant?
I just thought she was calling me like a pain in the ass.
Also known as an asshole.
But I mean, like, in a nice way. It's like I can call the kids, you're being a pain in the ass, or I could be like, dude, you're being an asshole. Stop. Which one are you going to say? You're being a pain in the ass. I'm not going to, like, fully call them, because they use that word like it is, like, just all the time. Like, all the time. They use that word. And it's like, in the show.
Oh.
And it's like, the word asshole. Asshole. And I was like, that's what she's been calling me this whole time.
I think it depends, because I know that in Puerto Rico, if you call someone cabrón, it means that you're a husband who knows that his wife is cheating on him and doesn't care or doesn't do anything about it, I should say.
Well, that's the other
So
problem.
that's what I'm saying.
When
Like,
you have, when you have like in South Central America, these words are all.
I thought you were going to say South Central LA.
No,
What is that?
everything means something
crib walk.
differently. Oh my God,
That's
it's
what I'm
like
saying. So
because
maybe-
my mom would always say, in Spanish, she would say, "Oh, tú jodes mucho," or "tú fregas," And I'm like, to me, it's like what she would always say. And then I would say it, just don't say that. And I'm like, but you say it.
I call the kids that hello now, hello.
And she's like, oh my gosh, if you say that to this particular person from this country, it's bad. It's really bad. I'm like, oh, well, then you're going to need to write me down what I can say to who.
And in this climate, good luck.
Because I don't know who I'm insulting.
Everybody.
Because she like,
Oh, you
I
know
grew
by,
up
by
with
the mail you get after this.
I grew up like we lived in New York. She had friends from all different countries, so it was like very diverse. Like it was diverse in like what I would pick up.
I feel like we were talking about de-stressing and now we're talking about coronas. But okay, I mean,
De-stressing and okay, fine. De-stressing and watching Netflix. Drinking and watching Netflix.
smoking and watching horror movies. I yoga and meditate, but that's just me.
I knit too. That's the least.
Oh, that is well, for some people, it would give me anxiety.
I'm working on a scarf
Knitting.
right now.
Oh, and who's it for?
My sister.
Okay. Have you done blankets? I assume.
It's taken a really long time.
Are you like the big stitches, like on Pinterest, how they have those giant?
No. I use the needle, but I mean, I thought this scarf was going to take me like maybe 2 weeks. So we had like a little COVID scare. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stay home for 2 weeks just in case, right? So I'm going to make my sister a scarf. And so now I'm 4 weeks into my COVID stay.
And still no scarf. So there will be no gloves
Almost
added to
done.
that or no hat added to
Almost
that.
done. My goal is to get it done by next week so that my parents can take it to her when they go see her for Thanksgiving.
If they can leave the state.
I have a feeling they'll be able to leave the state. Whether they can leave her state, I'm not sure. Our state doesn't care.
Our state's just. I'm not gonna say anything.
So there's in downtown Delray, there's a concert next week.
Legit?
Yeah, a concert, and I
With like people?
as opposed to what?
I mean, like sometimes
Like
they
a
have.
hologram? No, this band is not hologram.
Maybe you're thinking like a drive-through.
I mean, granted, okay, I did go to a stadium, but the stadium had like maybe 50 people.
No, in that old school square.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and I'm thinking,
Who's playing?
I mean, nobody reputable.
Oh.
But no offense to the band playing, but it's
Yeah.
not like the Rolling Stones are playing
Yeah.
in downtown Delray. So I'm thinking like, okay, so people are looking to go to a concert.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for food at the concert. They're looking for drinks at the concert. Like, does COVID not exist anymore?
Not in this state, I don't think.
And that's what, John is telling me. Like, COVID doesn't exist here. And I ask him all the time because he goes out every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are the people like? And he said it's just madness out there.
They're just maskless, just coughing and sneezing.
No
and just
care for anybody else.
On the news, they were saying this morning that if you have Thanksgiving plans, please don't invite people to your house. Please don't.
But they can't regulate that though. It's like you're saying it, but who's regulating it? No one's going to regulate it.
But nobody was regulating it before.
I feel like they need to have a system where you get a reward for turning people in.
For being a snitch?
Yes.
My daughter
love it.
told my son, snitches get stitches.
Say it to my face.
She will. She'll say, Karina, snitches get stitches. I go, okay, when did you join the mob?
Let me show you how we handle things in Colombia. Come here.
I mean, we are not below beating up a kid. We made that clear today.
At least trip a kid. I mean, it's the least I could do.
I'm probably as tall as a kid, so
I think they could take you.
most likely.
Most
likely, yes. Anybody above the age of like 13, I'm terrified of. They're bigger than me.
How tall are you? You're not that short. 5'4"? 5'5"?
I'm 5'1".
I'm 5'1" on a good day. With shoes. Most likely sneakers.
Are you serious? I have to send this to you guys. What? 5'1"?
I'm 5'1". London's almost my height.
Because you're only 5'1".
Shut up.
My 4-year-old is almost my height.
You're only 5'1".
I know.
And he's going to be tall.
Yeah. I don't know where he got that from.
Dad's
not
tall.
that tall.
No? How tall is he?
I don't know.
Like, we laugh in our house because Babe is 5'7", and the kids are going to be tall, and we say, and he has short legs, and we say the kids get long legs from him because they're super duper short. Like, I don't, the neighbor has, like, I don't know where these kids get long legs from. Like, I don't really know what to say. But I don't know how we diverted. I think that's it for today. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. I realize time is a precious commodity, and I appreciate you spending some on me. If you like what you've heard so far, please subscribe, tell your friends and family, and share. Don't forget the website is showoffurniture.com. Show off and furniture, 3 F's, guys. It's the place where your personality meets your home. We're also all over social media. The handle is Show Off Furniture, just like the website. Everywhere except for Twitter, where we're Show Off and then Furn, F-U-R-N. Until next time, guys, may we all have peace of mind and be at peace in our hearts. Bye. Thanks, ladies. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
They're awful.